In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use technology, it's Engage's technology, to be able to create a box plot and analyze it. So I'm going to take our data set that we have, and we already know what this box plot is going to look like. We already know the quartiles, so this is a great one to do. Okay, first thing we have to do is we have to type everything into Excel. So I've created an Excel book. So I've got it right here, and I have typed all those data values in. Now this one was nice because they were already in order. Notice I'm using the 95, not the original 75. That way we can see the outlier in this case. So I've got everything in there. Now we need to save this file. And I'm just going to save it on my desktop. Box plot example, and we need to save this as a CSV file. That's what, which that one? That's what Cengage's software requires. So now I've got it saved, and we are going to switch over to the software. And if you're not sure where it's at, you can go to Google and you can type in SALT is what it's called, Statistical Analysis and Learning Tool. So I'm going to click on that. Now I'm going to have to upload my CSV. And this is a raw data set. I'm going to upload. I'm going to find it. So there's my box plot. Hit open. And then I am going to select them all. So that has imported my data set here so you can see all my values. All right, now it looks like something's off to me because I only have 23 values, and in here I should have 24. So let's insert a blank row there and then resave that and re-upload it because it looks like it kept the header there as that first entry, and that is not what we want. Actually, we might be able to just add a row. Yeah, let's just do that. Edit. Type in the number 36. I guess I already got the 36. Nope. There we go. So that has fixed the problem. We also could re-upload the data set. But now I've got all my entries. It does not matter if they're in order. Remember, it's going to find the median and it's going to end up having to think about that order anyway. So let's find the 5-number summary. So if I go over to descriptive statistics, I can choose which statistics I want it to find. Here's your mean, your standard deviation, the number of items, and it's important to check that. And it's interpreting that first row as variables, um, as a title for the row. Excuse me. It's telling us our minimum value, our quartile, our median, our quartile 3, and then our maximum value. So it's giving me all that information that we found by hand earlier. So if I click on charts and graphs, I can choose box plot. And then we're going to choose that data. So there is my standard box plot. Actually, this is the modified box plot. Okay, the reason it's modified is we can see that outlier up here at 95. It tells you the smallest value within the fence, and then same thing down here. So there is our modified box plot. So let's do another one. Let's delete all these. I'm going to type in some values in here. Let's say we have word counts. That first item I'm going to type in will be what the data represents. And I'm going to type in our values. 34, 36, 39, 43, 51, 53, 62, 73, and 108. Okay, this is an Excel. So to get Salt to use this, I'm going to have to first save it. And I saved it as my box plot example. I'm just going to replace. I'm just going to hit save. And then we're going to go to data set again, and we're going to import the data set. Remember, it has to be a CSV file. Upload. And this time I stored it in documents. There it is. Open. And I'm going to select all of the values. So there's my data set. Let's make sure we have all the values typed in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values. And this is telling us we have 9 values. And now you can see it put that title that was in that first entry right there. So there's no need to edit this one like we did the last one. If I click on descriptive statistics, it will tell me the mean, the standard deviation of the sample, how many items are in there, and then it's telling me my minimum, my quartile 1, my median, my quartile 3, and then my maximum value. So the way it's computing this is the same way that we did it earlier. I'll pull this down so we can look. And let me set this up so I can write on the screen. So we've got 9 values in our data set. The middle is quartile 2. So this guy would be quartile 2. And that splits the data into a lower set of data, a lower half, and an upper half. So quartile 1 has to live between these two values. So if I take 36 plus 39 and I divide it by 2, that's going to give me that 37.5 for that quartile 1. And then same thing here, quartile 3 would live between 62 and 73. So 62 plus 73 divided by 2 would give me that 67.5 for that quartile 3. So that's where they're getting those values from. And then we could find the fences by looking at the IQR and taking this minus 1.5 times the IQR to get that lower fence. And we could take this plus 1.5 times the IQR to get to the upper fence. So in this case, our IQR is going to be 67.5 minus 37.5, which is 30. So if I look at my fences, I'm going to take that 37.5, and I'm going to subtract 1.5 times the IQR, which is 30. Get that in my calculator off to the side. 37.5 minus 1.5 times 30 would give me a negative 7.5. And then my upper fence would be the quartile 3, 67.5, plus 1.5 times the IQR, and that would give me 112.5. And if you think about all these values, this lives inside of the fences. And so does that minimum, which means for this one, we would have no outliers. Now let's look at our graph. So I minimize that. I'm going to go to charts, graphs, and box plot. And then we want to look at word counts. So there's our box plot. You can see there are no outliers in this particular example. But that is how we use the statistical analysis tool that is built in to WebAssign to find and create box plots. Now, some of the problems will have a little salt button where you can open the data inside of salt. Otherwise, if it doesn't and you want to use salt, you have to type the data into Excel, save it as a CSV file, and then upload it.